Hi, my name's Wally, and if you don't know me, you should. If you don't love me, you will, because I'm here to help you make your life better. I am the conductor. We're going places. I am the maestro, and we have music to make. But first, it's going to cost you a piece of your soul. So look me in my eyes, and let's begin. I always begin by putting some water in my body. So, today I'm going to help you determine how at risk you are for developing Alzheimer's. So, you need to go grab a pencil and a sheet of paper or something that you can keep tally with. You need to go do that now. And while you're doing that, listen to me. Listen to me. You cannot underestimate the value of your brain. You cannot underestimate the value of your brain, which is why I'm making this video. I'm making this video so that you can get an understanding of how at risk you are for developing Alzheimer's. I'm pretty sure everyone watching this has been touched by Alzheimer's, knows somebody who's dealing with this or some other form of cognitive impairment. I'm a speech pathologist by trade, and as a speech pathologist, I've been using my skills in the hospital and in nursing homes. However, I found that I was telling people who are at the end of their lives what they need to be doing to help make their brain better. So here I am telling you in the middle of your life, or maybe at the beginning of the most wonderful time in your life, things that you need to be doing to try to help your brain. But today we're just going to try to determine how at risk you are for developing Alzheimer's. So if you're ready to go, let's go. You're going to make tally marks, pluses and minuses, and you're going to add up your score. So, number one, question one, how old are you? How old are you? If you're 64 or younger, 0. 65 to 69, plus 1. 70 to 74, plus 2. 75 to 79, plus 3. 80 to 84, plus 5. If you're older than 85, write down 5. 64 younger, 0. 65 to 69, 1. 70 to 74, 2. 75 to 79, 3. 80 to 84, 4. Anything older than 85, 5. Question number 2. How many first-degree family members have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's? How many first-degree family members? So, if you have no family history of Alzheimer's, no points. If your mother or your father or your sister or your brother, just those people, your mom, your dad, sisters or brothers, just those, you can get up to 2 points. Up to 2 points, only 2 points for question number 2. If either your mom, that's 1, or your dad, that'd be another 1, or any brothers and sisters, they would get 1. Up to 2 points. Question number 3. Have you experienced any severe stressors? And we live in a society that consistently keeps us in a state of stress. So I'm willing to suggest that everyone will probably get 2 points here. I know I did. So 1 point for every one of these, up to 2 points. So you can only get 2 points in this section. Write a point if you're divorced, widowed, serious illness of a child, serious health or behavior issues with a child, mental illness with a child, learning that one of your children has been abused, mental illness in a spouse or first-degree relative. Remember, we said that was mother, father, sisters, or brothers. Any alcohol abuse in your spouse or first-degree relative. Physical illness in a spouse. Loss of a job for yourself or your spouse. Or a serious long-term and unsolvable interpersonal work-related issue that threatens your livelihood. You get a point for only 2 of them. If I've named 2 of them, you can identify with. Question number 4. Have you ever suffered a concussion or a brain injury? If you've been diagnosed with a concussion at some point in your life, any point in your life, it involved your brain, give yourself a point. If you played a contact sport and sometimes got hit hard enough to temporarily lose consciousness, get confused, or feel dizzy, I think you know what I'm talking about. Give yourself a point. If you've never suffered a concussion or played contact sports, no points, 0. Question number 5 is, what's your highest level of education? If you've got less than a high school education, give yourself a point. If you graduated high school, no points. If you have an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, or an advanced degree, anything beyond high school, take a point away. And we're on to question number 6. Have you learned a second language? Question number 6 asks, have you learned a second language? If a second language is spoken other than your native language, take away a point. If you play a musical instrument, I play the piano and the harmonica and the organ. I want to learn to play the saxophone. If you play a musical instrument, take away a point. If you understand computer language, take away a point. Now, when we get into the next section, you're probably going to have to write this stuff down and maybe consult somebody else because you probably aren't going to have this information right offhand. If you don't have this information right offhand, that lets me know that you might not be the authority over your body. Seeing how you're yourself and you've been with your body longer than anybody else has been with your body, you should be the authority over your body. But you'll see what I'm talking about. Question number 7 is, what's your blood pressure? Do you know your blood pressure? Most of us don't. 120 over 80 or lower, take away a point. Doing all right. 120 over 80 to 130 over 85. 120 over 80 to 130 over 85, no points. Between 130 over 85 and 139 over 89. Listen again to your numbers. 130 over 85 and 139 over 89. You get 1 point. It's high blood pressure. You get a point. 140 over 90 or higher, you get 2 points because that's very high blood pressure. You need to know what your blood pressure is. Question number 8. What is your cholesterol level? 38 milligrams or lower for your lower HDL, +1. 38 to 40 milligrams, it's normal HDL. That's 0 points, no points for that. 46 milligrams or higher, high HDL, -1. Okay, so our LDL. Did you know that you have 2 different types of cholesterols that are measured? If you didn't know that, you need to be trying to get to the doctor so that you can learn more about your body. Actually, that's something that you could probably Google. That's one time that the Google doctor is probably actually going to be good for you. So find out more about your blood pressure. With your LDLs, 100 milligrams or lower, -1. 100 to 129 milligrams, no points. 130 to 159 milligrams, high LDL, you get +1. 160 to 189, it's very high LDL cholesterol, you get +2. If your blood pressure, cholesterol, if your cholesterol, LDL cholesterol is 190 milligrams, you get +3. And now we're on to question number 9. What's your fasting blood glucose? Your fasting blood glucose. You haven't eaten anything for a couple hours and you're taking your sugar. What's that number? 100 milligrams or lower, normal fasting blood glucose. No points. 100 to 125, 1 point. 126 or greater in the diabetes range, 2 points for you. Which brings us to question number 10. Are you overweight? This number is considered with your BMI, your body mass index. 24.9 or below. See, you got to know your body mass index in order to answer this question. 24.9 or below, that's normal, no points. 25 to 29, you're overweight, you get 1 point. 30 or above, you're obese, you get 2 points. Which brings us to question number 11. Do you accumulate at least 150 minutes of exercise every week? 150 minutes of exercise every week. Oh, you do the math and figure out how often you need to work out every day to get to that. I'm just asking and saying, if you get no exercise, +1. If you get some exercise, but less than 20 minutes on most days, 0 points for you. If you accumulate 20 or more minutes of exercise most days of the week, take a point away. Which brings us to question 12. How many fruits and vegetables do you consume on a daily basis? If you consume fewer than 1 daily serving of fruits and vegetables, give yourself a point. Don't forget, like, getting points down here is not a good thing. If you consume maybe 1 serving of fruits and vegetables a day, just 1, 0. We'll take a 0 here. If you consume more than 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, take a point away. Which brings us to question 13. How often do you challenge your brain? If you do mentally challenging activities less often than once a week, give yourself a point. If you do mentally challenging activities about once a week, okay, 0. If you do mentally challenging activities most days of the week, take a point away. Which brings us to question number 14. How restful, how peaceful is your sleep? If you feel rested when you wake up each morning and you're rarely tired during the day, take away a point. Good for you. If you feel somewhat rested, 0, no points. If you feel chronically tired, give yourself a point. Question number 15. Have you been diagnosed with sleep apnea? You don't know what that is? Look it up. Have you been diagnosed with sleep apnea but are not using a recommended therapy to treat it? Give yourself a point. My dad used to say, if you know something, you're thereby charged with doing better by it. Do better. Have you been diagnosed with sleep apnea and successfully using CPAP or other treatment? No points. If you haven't been diagnosed with sleep apnea, no points. Which brings us to question number 16. What do you do to manage your stress? What do you do to manage your stress? If you practice stress relief, meditation, yoga, laughter, and if you do it regularly and you feel calm and collected most of the time, take away a point. If you do not practice any stress relief and you occasionally feel mildly to moderately stressed out, no points. If you feel severe stress regularly and you don't practice any form of stress relief, give yourself a point. How rich is your social network? That's question 17. If you feel close to many friends or relatives and you rarely feel lonely, take a point. If you feel close to 1 or more friends but still feel lonely at times, no points. If you have no close relationships and you often feel lonely, give yourself a point. And the last question is question 18. Do you smoke? If you do not smoke, you get no points. If you recently stopped smoking, -1. If you do smoke, +1. Those are the 18 questions that I have for you to help you determine how at risk you are for Alzheimer's. Tally up your score. See how many points you have. And if you want to interpret that, if you really want to know how at risk you are for developing Alzheimer's, message me, find me, and we'll help you interpret your results. It only costs you $20 to know how your mind's functioning. You're a great investment, don't you think so?